Okay. Now, we have talked about negative numbers quite a lot. Now, negative numbers or integers. Okay. So, today's lesson will probably be talking about adding. Okay, today's lesson is focused primarily on adding and subtracting negative integers. Now, in primary school, you learn how to do very basic 5 minus 2, right? And is equals to 3. Okay, can I say that 5 is a positive integer? And I'm subtracting 2, which is a positive integer as well. Now, okay, please copy what I now, can I say that 5 is bigger than 2? Yes. Okay, what happens if I reverse this order? Instead of 5 minus 2, I take 2 minus 5. Okay, some of you can immediately tell me, oh, it's just negative 3. Okay, but why is it negative 3? Yeah, okay, but timeline. Okay, listen. Because last lesson I introduced using the number line, not timeline. Okay? Now, using the number line will help. But what happens if I give you a very big number? 100 minus 234. Or 123. Oh, are you going to draw the number line again? Yeah, okay, so we'll look at something. Okay, we'll use smaller numbers to introduce how to actually do this. But before I introduce, okay, I'm going to introduce something called number this. Okay, so on my hands, okay, it stands for the value 1, correct? Now, if I have 2 of it, what's the total value now? 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. Yeah, right. Then that? 3. So, if I have 3 of these, means the value here is 3. Okay? Now, if I reverse this, okay, but since I have one number this, the number 1, I also have negative 1. Okay, please pay attention. Now, if I have 2 of the negative 1s, how many do I have in total? What's the value? Negative 2. Negative 2, right? Okay. If I add one more, negative. So on and so forth. Okay. Blah 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 and whatever. If I want 100, I will have 100, but I don't have 100. Okay. So, with that being said, okay, I'm going to introduce you also something called the zero pair. Now, what is zero pair? Okay, you can see this on your first page of your 2.2 notes. Okay? Now, when I have 1 and a negative 1 this, and I add them together, 0. Okay, it will give me a value of 0. This is a rule. Okay, so 1 plus negative 1 will always give you 0. Okay, when I have 2 of these together, so 1 and 1 negative 1 this, we call it a zero pair. Why? Because 1 plus negative 1, this is how you write it, is equals to 1 minus 1, which in the end is equals to 0. Okay, am I explaining in a way you can understand? Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, now, so I have some blanks there for you, right? So every pair of 1 and negative 1 gives a zero pair with a value of 0. Okay, so the blanks you're supposed to write is this one and this one. Okay, for those that never bring my worksheet at all, you most likely have to copy down everything. Okay? So this is something we are giving you. Okay? 0 pairs. Okay? We are going to extend this idea later when we look at the first question, which is 2 minus 5. But let's go down to some basics first. Okay? Can you all flip to the second page? Now, this is something very basic. I won't spend too much time, but I'm going to illustrate how to add 2 numbers using the this. Very straightforward. You might not even want to copy this. Okay, 3 plus 3 is just 6. We all know 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. Okay, but you need to follow me now. So if I have 3, okay, plus 3, it's quite simple, right? It's just counting the number 6. Straightforward? Okay, you don't even need to do the pictorial representation. Okay, you should know the answer 6 and 7. Correct? For 3 plus 3 and 3 plus 4 on your notes. Okay? So these two, they are quite straightforward. Now what happens if we are going to talk about the addition of a positive and a negative integer? Okay, now if you see the first one where we have is 5 plus negative 3. Correct? 5 plus negative 3. Not, we all know it's 2, but how do we actually get 2? Quite simple. Just 5. Okay, I have 5 of these, right? Pictorial for first, this is the pictorial view. Okay? I'm at 5 plus negative 3. For the 3 plus 3, 3 plus 4, no need to do the pictorial. Okay? Now, if I add negative 3, do I add 3 of the number, the negative 1 this? Can I add 3 negative 1 this? 5 plus negative 3. Make sense? 5 positive 1s, add 3 negative 1s. Make sense? Yes. Make sense, right? Now, we talk about 0 pairs, right? Okay, I'm going to rearrange this. Okay, I'm going to rearrange this whole thing. Okay, we are looking at y is equals to 2, right? So I'm going to rearrange it such that I bring the 1 here, I bring the negative 1 here. Make sense? Make sense? Now, do you see that this here is what pair? I have 3 sets of 0 pairs here, right? And if they are zeros, means they have a value of 0, correct? Yashwini? Correct? 0 pairs means 0, right? Yes. So if they are 0, I will remove them. Yes. Or I say cancel them out. Yes. My 5 minus? Very good. So, finally, your answer is just this. Now, you may say, hey Joe, it's so simple, why must I do this? Later you will see why. When we go on to 2 minus 5, we go on to even harder ones. Okay? So, simply, what is remaining? Because of 0 pairs, I can actually remove the 0 pairs, correct? The value of 0, right? Hence, the answer here, as what Erdina has Erdina, right? Yeah, right. Okay? It's actually just simply 5 minus 3, correct? And then it's equals to 2. Okay, this is what you should be writing at the working or shortcuts portion. Okay, now what do you write for pictorial presentation? Yeah, because you're sitting there. You want to sit here? I'm okay if you want to sit here. Okay, if not, you have to watch the video lesson. Okay, now. So, with that said, what do you need to write for the pictorial presentation? Now, pictorial presentation is quite simple. If it's you have 5 plus negative 3, right? You just need to draw 5 of these. No, just draw 5 of these. Correct? Just draw plus negative 1s. Right? Make sense? And then you can cancel out the zero pairs. So you have one positive and one negative. I will cancel them out. Cancel. Cancel. That's all. Make sense? Quite simple when it comes to pictorial representation. Am I explaining in a way you can understand? At the back? Okay? So, what's remaining is 2. Okay? So, this is the workings. This is the pictorial presentation.